This is the remix.
The Life of Dad Show.
Remix.
Hey everyone, Earnhardt here for the Life of Dad Show Remix. Here in Life of Dad Show Remix, we take past guests that we've had on the Life of Dad Show and just put the spotlight on their thoughts on fatherhood. This week, we're taking to the track. We're going all NASCAR with three great dads who are three great drivers. We're going to be talking with Dale Earnhardt Jr., Elliott Sadler, and Kyle Larson. All were former guests here on the Life of Dad Show. Now we're just going to share their thoughts only on fatherhood. Hope you guys enjoyed this NASCAR edition of the Life of Dad Show Remix. Online. I'm very happy and honored to have Dale Earnhardt Jr. Thanks for taking the time to chat with me, Dale. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks a lot for having me.
Yeah, man. Big fan of yours on the track and, of course, now off. Talk about when you found out you're going to be a dad. What was kind of going through your mind, sir?
I was very emotional and a little scared, just wondering. I think the fear is, can I raise a great person? What if I fail in giving this person all the opportunities they deserve? And that's kind of the scary part is, man, am I going to make the choices that I need to make? And am I going to be able to instill value and morals and just give them all the tools, man? You just don't want to screw that up. Yeah. And they have all the potential in the world when they come out of the womb. They're turnkey badass, right? And so you just can't screw that up. Yeah. You just don't want to screw that up. So I had a lot of emotions like that. When our baby girl was born, I was just amazed at her mother, what she was able to do and how she was able to make that happen. And holy cow, this came out of her belly, and I just can't understand how God makes these things possible, or how this baby just was built inside there. It's just so crazy. You're all scared about their health. You're nervous and worrisome for no reason, more than you should be. You just have all these things running through your mind. Yes, I was probably worse about it than my wife. You would think that my wife would be the one that was hysterical, or she was a trooper though, man. And I'm the one thinking, I'm the one over analyzing everything.
I've been there, my friend. I got two daughters, so I know exactly how you feel. You kind of mentioned, in regards about like how you're going to, the core values and all that. So that kind of is my piggyback question. Like, what are some of the core values you and your wife look to instill into your daughter as she grows up? Honesty, telling the truth, being honest, treating people with kindness, helping others. Those all sound like cliche and obvious simple things to do, but you want to raise someone that's a good person, that's going to be appreciated for having those kind of values and making the right judgment and choices in life. And I know she's going to make mistakes. I made them. I made a lot of choices that I would regret, and every kid's going to make, cross that line, and, hopefully I'll do the right things that help her understand how to avoid that. And so really, just want them, you hope that they get all the good qualities of you and your wife. Mm-hmm. It remains to be seen how that's going to work out. I don't even know, I'm just I'm trying to do everything I can. I'm trying to be, I feel like that if I show her love and comfort and care, that she's going to show that she's going to have that quality and appreciate that in someone. So I'm trying to treat her the way I would want her to treat other people. Nice. Well said, sir. And, again, people follow Dale on Twitter at Dale Jr. because one of the things, especially at Life of Dad, we always love those dad tweets and all that stuff. I think during that whole Laurel, whatever the thing that the voice, what you hear, you're like, you guys are all debating about this. I'm just trying to feed my daughter a bottle. I'm like, that is awesome. So that's fatherhood to its fullest, man. There's certain things in pop culture or like what's going on in the world. You really don't care when you need to focus and feed your child. I love that. Two more questions before I hit you up with the Life of Dad Quick 5. And I know obviously she's young, so there's probably a few things you may be thinking about. Like for me, I was like, for my daughters, I can't wait to play basketball with them or, show them Star Wars because I'm a Star Wars geek. But for you, is there one thing that you can't wait to share with your daughter or teach your daughter when she gets the right age to that point where you want to share something with her?
I think so. I'm excited to support her in whatever her interests are. If she's like, I want to be in dance or I want to play softball, whatever it is. I can't wait to be that, that dad that's like taking her everywhere and supporting her and giving her all these words of encouragement and pep talks and all that. I'm looking forward to those type of things.
Yeah.
Being really involved there. But I'm really curious. She's not going to experience any of my career as a race car driver. It's all going to be in pictures and film and hearsay. And so I think I'm really interested and curious as to whether that will register with her at all, whether she will get it, And it was hard for me. I never knew my grandfather, Ralph, and he died right the year before I was born.
Oh.
And I hear so many stories about him.
Yeah.
But, it's hard for me to imagine standing next to him or having a conversation with him, even with all that information. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I think it'll be interesting to see what she thinks about that, if it matters to her at all, if she gets it, or probably be hard for her to really understand, even if, she had all that content to absorb.
True. And another thing too, like especially nowadays as she grows up, and especially with our kids' generation, they have that digital age. So there's certain things on YouTube or career highlights that she will see. Maybe she'll stumble across when she gets older, and something that you didn't point her out to, but she just kind of wanted to Google search you, and then like saw like videos of your highlights and all that. So there may be something down the line. Right. She's like, "You did this? Like, why don't we talk about this?" So you never know. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
That'd be a trip. Yeah.
Last question before the Life of Dad Quick 5, and because you're in the thick of it, I think you're one of the best people to ask. For new dads listeners or guys who just found out they're going to be a dad, what is one big piece of advice you'd share with them?
Okay, the best advice that I got was, you're going to do this a lot too. You're going to probably get some opportunity to be at home, but life goes on. You go back to work. You go back to doing whatever it is you do. You're going to come home. See, you're going to be doing the things at night that she's doing, getting up, fixing bottles and whatever. You're going to be struggling to get a good night's sleep and all those things that she also does. And you also have to go back to work and do whatever you're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. Don't come home and talk about how tired you are. Don't walk in the door. Yeah. Don't walk, even if you've had the worst day, don't walk in the door and go, "Man, you ain't going to believe this." Because she doesn't care. And, you don't need to, you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
And, nothing that happened to you that day is going to matter. So it took me a while to really appreciate what that really means.
Yeah.
And I still do it today. I still catch myself talking to my wife about something that has stressed me out. And I'm thinking, you know what? I got no reason to be complaining about this.
Yeah.
And I can see it in her eye. She's like, I really don't care. You don't have half the responsibility that I have.
Yeah.
And so trying to take care of this little baby, everything that everybody says about it is true. Mm-hmm. As far as when you walk in the door, when you walk home and you bring that baby into the home and you sit there and you go, "Wow, I can't believe they let us take this thing home. Where's the handbook?" and all that, all those cliches. And everybody says, "Oh, you better get your sleep. Yeah, I mean, that's partly true. It wasn't as bad as I thought.
Yeah.
I think you really got to dial it back when it comes to how bad things or how stressful things might be on you.
Yeah.
And just focus on the wife and focus on keeping her comfortable, keeping her happy, doing whatever you can to make that experience as smooth as possible for her. She's the one really going to be doing all the work."
Yeah. 100% agree. That is fantastic advice. Thank you so much for sharing that, Dale. Now we got the Life of Dad Quick 5. And again, this is probably for future because obviously she's really young, but favorite family movie you think you guys are going to enjoy watching together is going to be what?
My goodness. I don't know, man. That's a tough one.
It's tough because she's young and you're like, all right, people like,
yeah.
say, like, maybe Mickey or this or that, but it's tough.
Family movie, probably Christmas Vacation.
Oh, nice.
Nice. You're not going to avoid it. It's going to be on every Christmas.
Nice,
and it's something that's good for everyone, good for adults, good for kids.
Yeah, no doubt. Nice. Raising them right. I love it. Favorite family song, or is there a band you can't wait to introduce your daughter to?
Well, there's just a lot of music that I can't wait to introduce her to, and she's probably not going to like any of it. I mean, then think about it, since the 90s up till today, all the amazing genres and types of songs and music that have came out and pop culture and so forth. no matter what it is. I mean, there's just so much stuff there. I'm heavy into music, and we'll be playing it all the time. And hopefully she goes, "Hey, what is that? I like that." You know,
Yeah.
it'll be interesting. I'll be testing her, trying to see what she, you know, what turns the knobs and what doesn't.
Gotcha, man. Describe, again, she's young, so in the future, describe the perfect family vacation. Where would it be?
Oh man, just on the beach somewhere.
Okay.
We love going to the beach, so that's where we like to be.
All right, cool. I've had a chance to interview a lot of your colleagues, racing and stuff like that, like Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, and I always love asking this question because you guys are in the thick of it, So if a NASCAR fan sees all the races on TV but hasn't gone to an event yet, which track do you recommend them going to be their first NASCAR race to see it live?
Bristol, Tennessee night race every time. The Daytona 500 is great.
Yeah.
The Daytona 500 is cool and it's really exciting, but the Bristol night race is a surefire way to hook a brand new fan.
Nice, very cool. And I know you're a big Washington Redskins fan. And again, I'm asking the tough questions because it's almost like, who's your favorite? But I'm asking, do you have a favorite Redskin player of all time?
I have two, or well, maybe one, maybe three, but Art Monk, he was a wide receiver in the 80s, and Darrell Green, he was a cornerback in the 80s as well. And both two great guys, great role models. I pulled for them because of the way they played the game and the way they were off the field. I was lucky as a kid to latch on to those two guys, and they, even today, they still make amazing role models. And so I appreciate them.
Nice, very cool. Thank you very much for saying that and sharing this great talk on father. People, make sure you follow Dale on Twitter at Dale Jr. Thank you again. Continued success with everything you got going in the future, sir.
You got it, buddy. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Yep, bye-bye. Hey everybody, it's Art Eddie for the Life of Dad show and online. I'm very happy to have Kyle Larson. Thanks for taking the time to talk with me, Kyle. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Doing really well, man. Life of Dad, we love to get everybody's take on fatherhood. I love seeing the pictures. People, make sure you follow Kyle at Kyle Larson Racing without the G on Twitter. There's a lot of cool, family shots, you guys and you and your son. What are some of the core values you look to instill into him as he grows up?
Being humble and having respect for everyone. I feel like my parents raised me that way, and I feel like I treat people the right way most of the time. So yeah, that's kind of what I would just hope that he can grow up and we can teach him the right things about being a great person and always being humble, like I said, and just respecting anyone who might be around you. So those key traits are kind of what I hope he grows up and really takes in.
Nice, man. And what was the first thing that kind of popped in your mind when you found out you were going to be a dad?
A little scary at first, but after about a week of it, I was super excited and couldn't wait the 8 or 7.5 more months or whatever it was going to be. So it was fun going through the whole process of waiting to find out the gender. Once you find that out, you get to do all the fun shopping of cribs and painting the room and bed sheets, clothes, all that stuff was fun, and every part of it leading up to when he was finally born was awesome, and definitely something that I'll never forget.
Nice, man. And you're a very busy guy, obviously a NASCAR driver. Tell us a little bit of how you try and balance work and family.
Yeah, it's a little tough, but luckily with our sport, it's almost bring your kid to work day every day. So
nice.
Yeah, it's cool. We're lucky to fly with the team. The team charters a plane to the racetrack, so he gets to fly there with us every week. And then I have a motorhome at the racetrack, which is basically like my second house, and I get to see him every day, and most every day. Sometimes I have to fly out during the week and go do an appearance or something, so I miss out on a day or two with him. But like I said, it's fun to have them at the racetrack, and they have playgrounds and activities and stuff for the kids, the drivers and crew chiefs and owners' kids to do during the race weekend. So it makes a lot of fun, and a lot of the kids are always outside playing together.
Nice, man. One of the things, again, I saw firsthand experiences is NASCAR is definitely a family event, very family friendly. So it's cool to hear that, especially you guys as drivers kind of have that as well. Last question before we go into the Life of Dad Quick 5. you know, you're kind of in the thick of it, man. You just, you know, your son is about 2, right?
No, he's 17 months old.
Okay.
So yeah, we got a little while, but he's pretty crazy right now for sure.
Nice. No, the only reason why I ask is because, you know, you're just kind of in the thick of it. You're new dad. For those listening who are, you know, where you were a few months, 17 months ago, what advice would you have for new dads listening to this show?
Don't get too worked up. It's not as hard as what everybody tells you it is. It's
Nice.
I think everybody warns you. You know, you're a soon-to-be dad that, you know, it's so tough, and you know, waking up every couple hours is terrible, and it's hard to go back to sleep. And you know, maybe it will be for some people, but for me, it wasn't hard. It was I almost felt like I slept better when I would wake up every few hours, you know, rather than going to bed at my normal hour and then being awake, you know, at 6 a.m. and he's wide awake. So the beginning was actually kind of easy. I mean, not easy, but I think I just expected it to be a lot harder than it was. So I guess when you go into it with, I don't know if you want to call it high expectations or low expectations or whatever you want to call it, but I thought it wasn't as tough as it actually was.
Very cool, man. Appreciate that piece of advice. I think it's very helpful. I think you're right, man. Now I got the Life of Dad Quick 5. Do you guys have, I have 2 daughters, 8 and 5, and it kind of changes as the wind blows. But with your son, is there maybe a show or a favorite movie you guys kind of like watch right now?
Well, in the mornings when he gets up, we'll turn on Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, but he's not really into the kids stuff. Like, he loves racing, you know, surprise, but so when he's got a lot of energy, so like when we're trying to get him to go to sleep or something, or he's acting up at a restaurant or whatever, we'll just turn on some racing videos on YouTube, and it gets him to quiet up and focus super quick. So he watches a lot of racing on my cell phone.
Nice, man. Do you guys have a favorite family song you guys like to either dance to or sing to him?
Not yet. You know, he doesn't, like I said, he's got so much energy and always loves playing. He doesn't like focus when it comes to you know, dancing or you know, moving along like that. Sometimes, you know, like it's weird. Like, we don't even listen to, you know, whatever you want to call it, rap music or pop or whatever, but like sometimes a beat will come on when we're driving down the road or something, and he's in his car seat, and he'll start bobbing his head a little bit. So that part is kind of cool, but I don't know if he has a favorite song or a certain genre or anything like that, but sometimes he gets his head bobbing.
Nice, man. When you do have some downtime, it's kind of maybe you and the family or maybe extended family, describe the perfect family vacation for you guys. Perfect
family vacation. Yeah, we travel so much. I don't know. It's with him being so young. It's nice to you know, really just relax at home. But we took him to a zoo a few weeks ago in Alabama, which was cool. You know, I didn't think it was like the most fun thing, but you could see in his face that he was having a blast and really enjoying it.
Yeah.
So that made it more fun. And you know, him checking out all the animals and you know, monkeys jumping around, because we've been trying to, you know, teach him, you know, different animals and stuff like that. So yeah, that was cool. When he gets a little bit older, like in another year or so, I would love to go, you know, like camping and stuff like that. I always remember those were my favorite vacations as a kid, was, you know, going in a tent and camping out and just playing, you know, at the lake and stuff like that. So that would be my perfect vacation. I can't wait till he gets, you know, a year or 2 older.
Nice, man. Passing down some family traditions. I love that. For you, at what age did you know that you were going to be a race car driver?
Like for real, I guess. I was probably 12, 13 or so. Maybe, yeah, that's probably about when I decided I'm at least going to try and pursue being a race car driver. I didn't know if it would work out or not, but yeah, I would say early on, I knew racing was what I wanted to do. I never, you know, knew if it would or not work out, but thankfully it did, and I didn't have to ever get a real job.
Nice, man. I love the fact that you're able to pursue your dream, man. Congrats on that. And lastly, obviously, you know better than a lot of other people, for someone who wants to check out a NASCAR race live and hasn't done so in person, what would be the #1 track you would recommend to them?
Oh, definitely Bristol. Bristol's our shortest racetrack. It's a half mile, super banked, you know, high speeds, close racing the whole time, lots of action. Later in the year, they have a night race there, and that's really cool because you see sparks, and it seems like drawing always happens during a night race. So the Bristol night race would be the one to go to if you had never gone to a NASCAR race before.
Very cool. I interviewed Jimmy Johnson a few years back, and he said the exact same thing. So I got to check that out, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Very cool. People, make sure you go to KyleLarsonRacing.com and follow him on Twitter at Kyle Larson Racing without the G, and of course put up all the links here at Life of Dad. Continued success with everything you got going on this year and of course in the future, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to chat about fatherhood, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
All right, you take care, man.
Thanks.
All right, bye-bye.
Art Eddie from Life of Dad. I'd like to talk to you about fatherhood, if that's cool.
About being what, fatherhood?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. I'm
Cool,
good with
man.
that.
So, what were the first few things that popped in your mind when you found out you're going to be a dad for the first time?
Oh man, responsibility was the first thing. I wanted to able to provide for my family, be a good dad, be a good role model, and be a loving father figure that can give to my kids. So, but the biggest thing I would say, first word, responsibility.
Nice. What are some of the core values you look to instill into your kids as they grow up?
Well, honesty is number one. Work hard, play hard. Sports. I'm a big sports guy. I played 6 sports in high school, so I want my kid to be active socially, and be involved and really communicate with people. But I'm from a very small town where honesty is a big deal. A handshake is what it's all about, and so that's what we kind of instill in them.
Nice. What advice would you give to new dads listening to this?
Oh, new dads listening, man, enjoy the moment. There's nothing like it. The first time I heard my son cry when he was born was the best day of my life. It's going to be rough days, it's going to be great days, but enjoy every single moment of it, because honestly, life has sped up since I became a dad.
The cool thing about NASCAR I've seen is that family is kind of intertwined with work, so balancing work and family sometimes is tough, obviously, in any job. But for you, and how do you balance work and family?
Yeah, my family's here with me this weekend. They get to come in my summer, some of my summer races. I'm very fortunate to be able to bring some of my both my kids with me to some of the races. My wife's a school teacher, so they're not allowed really to miss time during school. We have to stay in school. So, but I have a great wife that understands what I do for a living in my travel, and she does a good job of making sure the kids understand where Daddy's at and gone, because the travel part is by far the hardest part. But having them here with me today makes everything okay. That no matter what happens tonight, win, lose, or draw, I get to go back and spend time with my family.
Very cool. Now I got the Life of Dad Quick 5. Do you guys have a favorite family movie?
Favorite family? Yes, Polar Express.
Okay, nice.
We
Very
watch it
topical right now.
4,000 times, especially with Christmas coming up.
Nice. Favorite song right now you guys are dancing to together?
Favorite song? Well, my son and I like country music.
Okay.
So like, Seeing Red by Dustin Lynch, or anything Blake Shelton or Luke Bryan sings, my son and I will sing.
Yeah.
Not well, but we'll sing. My daughter is pretty sassy, and all my nieces are into dancing and cheering. So anything like by Fifth Harmony, any kind of dance moves, she wants to shake her stuff a little bit. So
Gotcha.
she's in a little bit different song title than my son and I are in.
Gotcha. Describe the perfect family vacation. Where would it be?
Nags Head, North Carolina.
Nice, very
We
cool.
love going there, hanging out on the beach. It's very laid back, down to earth, and we just go spend time with each other.
First car you purchased was?
First car I purchased was a Mustang GT when I was 16 years old.
Nice. And for NASCAR fans who watch on TV, hadn't had a chance to go to a live race, what track would you recommend them to see first?
Oh man, that's a really good question. But Bristol, the Bristol night race is hard to beat, man. You sit so close to the track, and there's so much action there. If I had to take somebody for the first time to persuade them to be a NASCAR fan, they'd definitely be at Bristol.
Nice. And where can people follow you on social media to support you?
Yeah, Elliott_Sadler, man. Go check me out on Twitter.
Very cool. Good luck today on the race, man. Appreciate
Thank
the time.
you. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much for listening to the Life of Dad Show. You know where to find us, lifeofdad.com, and on Twitter and Facebook.